So for acrylic forms today, I'm going to be using these red ones that I bought from Sarah Richardson's Etsy store. I'll leave the link down below for you, and I must admit I find that these are the best ones. So obviously I brought a big reel, and actually they're quite cheap to buy in the reel rather than some other nail forms out there. So yeah, really good price, and I really like these. So for prepping the nails today, I'm going to be using Gelish Nail Surface Cleanse, which obviously is to then take any oil and dust off of the nail. Then we've got the Gelish pH Bond, which you're meant to use with the acrylic system that I'm using. And then I'm actually going to use Young Nails Protein Bond, which I've only just started to recently use, but I absolutely love it. It is the best thing out there. So yeah, I'm going to be using that as well. And as always, I'm going to be using Nail Harmony Prohesion acrylic system. So I've got the nail sculpting liquid, and I'm actually going to be using Cover Warm Pink. I really like to use cover pinks, especially on myself when I'm sculpting, so that when I put gel polishes and things on top, you don't get that sort of see-through type effect. You get more of an opaque base. So it's then good to put any gel polishes on top. Then of course I'm going to be using my Gorgeous Nails Gorgeous Bettie acrylic brush today as well. So we'll start off with the thumb, which obviously we're going to sculpt a new nail on. So I've just got a lint-free wipe here and some of the gel cleanse, and I'm just going to wipe that over the whole nail. Still have got some acrylic on my nail from previously, which you can see, but it's not going to really affect us too much. Then I'm going to get my pH bond, and I'm going to apply that to all of the areas that I've got natural nail. So like that. And as well, for I don't do it on myself, but for some troublesome clients, I'll do it just to show you. But on some troublesome clients where you know that they've got sort of really oily nails, they can't really keep things on, they have a lot of lifting with acrylic or gel or whatever, I actually do a double layer of the pH bond. This then really battles that oily nail. So there's a little trick for you. Then we're going to get our Protein Bond by Young Nails, which is magic. So, and again, just going to apply to all of the natural nail areas. Just going to do the free edge as well. Obviously, if you've got a new client, or well, you obviously wouldn't be doing this with your wrong hand if it was on a client. You know, if you've got a new set of acrylics that you're doing on yourself, you would cover the whole nail. It's just because I've got some acrylic left on there. So you do one layer and do it on all the rest of your nails. Wait for it to sort of dry a bit, and then we're going to do another layer of the Protein Bond. So you double layer this one all the time. So then I'm going to get my form and start putting that onto the nail. Sometimes I actually put the nail form on before I put all the you know, the pH bonds and the Protein Bond, just in case you touch the nail. But when you're doing it on yourself, it's a bit harder to do. So I do that for clients, but for this I do all the prep work first and then put the nail form on. So obviously just kind of curving the form so that we get that nice C curve, and as you can see how nice and flush that is with my nail, pinching underneath as well. So we're all ready to start sculpting. Obviously if you're doing a whole new set on yourself, you probably won't be able to do this with you know, your dominant hand. You would have to use your left hand or your right hand, whichever way it is, but I'm just gonna do this bit with this hand first. So just sort of getting all the air bubbles out of your brush. Then I'm just gonna wipe some of the acrylic liquid off. Then we're gonna dip it in, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go 1, 2, 3 in the powder, and I always start at the free edge. So this is going to be very cat-handed, guys. This is not going to be a perfect sculpt because this is with my non-dominant hand, but hopefully you guys can get some tips maybe from doing it. Not entirely sure. Thumbs are always easiest as well, can I just say. I've chosen the easiest finger to do this on. And then obviously shorten it a little bit because they're not going to be that long. And when you're sculpting, always try and actually sculpt as much as you can into the shape that you're eventually going for. I think that's going to be quite a bit longer. Oh no, it might be okay for my other hand. So then again we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So, and then the next bit I go straight to the cuticle. Try and get as close to the cuticle as you can, but without actually getting on the cuticle. There needs to be a little gap, but I try, especially with this brush, it's really, really easy to do that, where you can get really nice and close. So then we're just going to do one more bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put that right in the middle. This is where the cat-handedness bit comes in, guys. So feather in down the free edge, and then we're going to go up. My right hand always looks worse than my left one. I just want to make that disclaimer now. But as long as you've kind of got all of the main bits covered, you can file the rest down. I'm just going to need a little bit down here for this little gap. So, as you can see, we've got more acrylic in this sort of area than we need to, but all of this is going to be corrected by filing. But we've got a goodish base, so we just need to wait for this to kind of semi-dry a little bit, and then we're just going to pinch it. So just while we're waiting for that one to kind of dry, I'm just going to prep my one that I'm going to show you how to do the infill on, which is my index finger. So obviously I've wiped over with cleanse, as I did for the first nail. Then I'm going to get my pH bond and just do on the natural nail. You don't need to do all over this acrylic bit because it's just a waste of product, because you only need it on the natural nail. So again, I'll just do a double layer of that just to show you. I find it really does help with troublesome clients, and if you have trouble yourself, just double pH bond, because you don't need a lot of product either. So then obviously we're going to get my protein bond and just do around the natural nail. And just while that's drying, I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to pinch this nail slightly just with my fingers I do this with clients as well. I don't use a pinching tool, I just use my fingers, just as it's sort of semi-drying, so you can kind of get a nice C curve on it. Hopefully you can see that. And then we're just going to wait for that to fully dry. So then we're just going to do our second layer of protein bond on the natural nail. So now our infill is ready to do. So again, I'm especially now that I've just taken the form off because it's drying, we can do this bit with our dominant hand, which I find is easier. So just get all the air bubbles out, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and obviously we're going straight to the cuticle area. And just start pressing down. This is where this little brush comes in really, really handy, because it's so easy to actually do infills with. It's just a little bit more. And then I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to add a little bit of acrylic onto the end, not a lot. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hopefully you can. And I'm just going to feather it up the nail, because I did file this nail down quite a bit. This is really hard to do on camera, guys, let alone trying to actually do it. It's even worse trying to do it on camera. I've got bloody acrylic on my brush now. Right. So again, this looks really lumpy and not that fantastic, but again, when we're filing, we're going to get all of that smoothed out and everything. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry. So for filing, I just these are just what I use at home on myself. I don't tend to use these on clients. These are just from Sally's, and you can get them in big packs of 12, and it's the 100 and 180, or is it 150? Can't remember, but I know that it's might be 100, 150. I can't remember, but I use the rough side anyway of these. So, and literally I'm just going to start filing. So in the end, I did all the filing off camera just because it was really, really too difficult to try and do it properly. I've just caught a little bit of loose skin there, so I haven't actually like split it. It was already sort of split, and I just caught it, which made it bleed. But yeah, I mean, I'll leave a link down below anyway for some more sort of filing and acrylic videos, so you can see really how I sort of file. It was just really difficult, but you can see how I've sort of filed it. So, you know, really nice and thin at the cuticle, then we go up for the apex area here, and then back down to the free edge. And again, the same on the infill, nice and thin at the cuticle, then we've got the nice apex area here, and then down to the free edge. So I hope that you liked this non-dominant hand acrylic video, guys. Please like and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.